We all need to make sure that our cars are being maintained and healthily taken care of. This is how one mechanic shop is making sure to do that here in St. Charles.
You can drive your car wherever you want, but you also have to then make sure you can get car care. Especially as a woman, it's not uncommon for places to jack up prices just because they don't think we know what we're talking about. Coffee Automotive, on the other hand, is making sure that everyone who enters their shop knows what's going on with their car, while also creating a welcoming environment for everyone. Here's how one out-of-town student feels about their car service.
Here they will draw me pictures and they'll explain things and they'll be like, okay, we know that price sounds like a lot, we can bring it down. And it's very comforting.
When initially entering the shop, it feels overwhelmingly homey and welcoming. Aaron mans the desk and the majority of customer service, making sure that every customer feels seen, heard, and fully understands what's going on in their car. Here's his method.
Show and tell. So I draw a lot of pictures. I'm not an artist, but I do try to draw out exactly what I can try to explain. Sometimes if it's a bad suspension part, I have pieces laying around the shop that I can show customers, hey, this is what this part does and this is what it's not supposed to do. And that way when customers, see it, they usually have a better understanding of why it's important or what it is that needs to be addressed.
If anything is clear to this reporter, it's that not only does customer service, but these mechanics really care about the quality of your car and your ability to drive home safe. Whether St. Charles has always been your home or you're new to it, go check out Coffee Automotives. They'll take care of you. I'm Elizabeth Boaz for LU News.
It's common knowledge that most Americans drive. And what do most Americans need in their car in order for it to run? Gas. Today we're going to be taking a deeper look into companies and seeing how their hours and their prices affect who's going to be coming to their store.
As Americans, when are we not trying to save an extra dollar here or there? Since most of us are driving really long distances anyway, we see a lot of gas stations, and most people I know are always hunting for the best gas prices. What actually goes into the constant changes of gas prices? Luckily enough, I was able to speak to Professor of Economics at Lindenwood University, Dr. Black.
So summer gas is more expensive because they have to mix the fuel in a way that has less emission effects and things like that. That's not the case in the winter, so the gas is cheaper to produce.
But prices aren't the only thing impacting sales. Like Sam's Club, yes, it's cheaper most of the time, but they're not open 24/7 like most local gas stations are. Here's how one student shops for gas.
I'm going to go with the cheapest places. It's just, I'm a college student, don't have a lot of money, so you got to spend it accordingly. And what's the cheapest gas? That's the place for me.
How come some gas stations are way cheaper than others, though?
The gas itself for those independent stations is a major driver of their profits is the revenues they can make on those gas sales. That's very different from a place like a Costco or Sam's, where they use it more as a marketing strategy to draw customers in.
And just like that, it all starts to make sense. That's how some gas stations are cheaper than others. I'm Elizabeth Boaz for LU News.
Streets and roads impact everyone that comes across them. Today we're going to be taking a look at Lindenwood University's parking lots, streets, and sidewalks, see how that impacts students on their day-to-day lives.
On both old side and new side, the streets appear to be pretty clear. Few potholes, cracks in the roads are good signs, as well as the same to be said for the sidewalks. However, the same can't be said about on-street directions. The parking spots are not painted very well, nor are the parking directions, which is pretty big of a letdown considering there aren't very many one-way signs on the street and you have to rely upon the grounds. Here today we have student James Zugmeyer, who's going to share some of his thoughts and opinions on parking here at Lindenwood University.
I feel like for the amount of car traffic that we have on such a small campus, we really need to repaint a lot of these things, because I feel like even when I pulled into this parking lot today here in Spelman, you just can't see the lines anymore. And especially a lot of areas on campus that have one-ways, the arrows are worn out and people constantly drive the wrong direction, especially with just painting on the roads. You just can't tell where you need to go. A lot of people that are new to campus drive the wrong directions, and it's just not the safest right now.
Here's what public safety had to say. We take the safety and security of the campus community seriously. We continue to take measures in creating a safer campus environment for students, faculty, and staff. Parking, traffic flow, traffic control devices, i.e. stop signs, parking lots, crosswalks, yield signage, yellow curbs, etc., speed of vehicles, and safety in general are the forefront of our team. Overall, it appears to be some pretty simple fixes that maintenance needs to do in order to keep our students safe here on campus. That's it for Lindenwood News. I'm Elizabeth Boaz.
Community building is something the St. Charles Art Foundry is familiar with. The Foundry aims to build community ties with not only those in-house artists, but also through offering opportunities to help them connect with the community through different events.
Walking into the Foundry, what's obvious is how open and inviting it is. Through all of the natural sunlight through the windows, as well as the open structure of the space, it makes sense that this venue is able to do so much for the community within. The very inviting atmosphere sets up both artists and passerbys with many opportunities. Each person walking by can catch a glimpse of the artist's work, which in turn helps the artists make more sales, sometimes without them even having to be there. Many artists leave business cards and other social media handles on the doors and windows so that those interested can reach out directly to them. Through hosting different events in the gallery after hours, to weddings, daytime crafts, it's clear that the center not only wants to bring resident artists together in the studio, but also bring the community in to connect through art. First Friday is one of the many free monthly events the center hosts, which resident artists are invited to stay after hours to enjoy connecting with community members over live music, crafts, drinks, and snacks. However, this space isn't only used for art-related events. It's also a great place for locals to choose as their wedding venues. Local Emma Kolkner shares how this venue has opened up an opportunity for her.
I always like coming here and walking around the studios upstairs and seeing different artists and what they're doing, and so I like just walking around there and looking at the art. I am getting married here next weekend, and they are unveiling the exhibit that's going to be up, or the gallery that's going to be up, and so I want to see what is going to be here for my wedding.
These were the gallery pieces that have been unveiled. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Elizabeth Boaz for Lindenwood News.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Boaz reporting for Lindenwood News. Tonight we're outside of Lindenwood's dormitory, Cobb's Hall, for the Pause and Popcorn event held by the Cobb's RAs. This event is going to be for community building and some relaxation as we get going into the school year. There's going to be scary movies, popcorn, and beverages provided by the RAs. So let's get into it.
This is where the event is set to take place, Cobb's Residency Common Lounge Hall. There's an RA finishing up some snacks, and as you can see, they've already set up the entire common area full of Halloween-themed things, and they've got a movie on already for some residents to watch. And coming up next, we have an interview with the RA who set up the entire event.
So this event is Pause and Popcorn in Cobb's Hall. It's really just, we have some candy, some popcorn, and we're watching Chuck.
Then why are you choosing to do it at this time of year?
I would say right now just because we're kind of like, we're at Halloween, but we do have Dark Carnival later in the year, so that might kind of overlap with any other events. And we also, all over campus in Irwin Hall, Sibley, Ayers, they have events too kind of related to Halloween as well. So we kind of want to make sure that none of those events overlap and that we all kind of have different events so that students, if they can't make this one tonight, they can make others.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Here is what one of the attendees thinks about the event.
I came here because one of my friends actually works here, and I just had a bit of free time, just finished exams, and I wanted to watch a movie and just spend some time with them.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Alright, that was the Pause and Popcorn event. This is Elizabeth Boaz signing off for Lindenwood News.